Welcome children to your English class. Here I am going to start one of the most important chapters of your course. That is chapter 5 Indigo by Louis Fisher. This chapter is from your Flamingo textbook. Let's now start the chapter. Let's now know about the author Louis Fisher. He was born on 29 February 1896 in Philadelphia, United States. He served as a volunteer in the British Army between 1918 and 1920. He started his career as a journalist and wrote for the New York Times, the Saturday Review, and for European and Asian publication. He was also the member of the faculty at Princeton University. His famous works include The Goddard Field in the year 1949, The Soviets in World Affairs in 1930, The War in Spain in 1937, Man and Politics, that is the autobiography of this writer, The Essential Gandhi in the year 1962. He was conferred with the award of National Book Award for History and Biography. This excerpt, Indigo, is taken from his book, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi, which is widely acknowledged as one of the best books ever written on Mahatma Gandhi ji. Let's get an introduction about the chapter. Indigo is an excerpt taken from a book on Mahatma Gandhi entitled The Life of Mahatma Gandhi, adjudged as one of the best books ever written on Mahatma Gandhi, that is the father of a nation. The excerpt deals with a series of events that is recounted to Louis Fisher by Mahatma Gandhi ji himself. In fact, it is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher of Mahatma Gandhi ji. In order to write on him, he had visited Mahatma Gandhi ji in 1942 at his ashram Sevagram, where he was told about the Indigo movement started by Gandhi ji. The story revolves around the struggle of Mahatma Gandhi ji and the other prominent leaders in order to safeguard the sharecroppers from the atrocities of the land war. The main theme covered by the author here is how an effective leadership can overcome the problems without any harm to anybody. You will find how the effective and capable leadership shown by Mahatma Gandhi during the Battle of Indigo, it helped to secure justice for the oppressed people of Champaran through convincing argumentation and negotiation without using any violence. Know about the characters of this chapter. First of all, you are going to meet here Rajkumar Shukla, who was a poor sharecropper from Champaran. He was the victim of the British landlords, though he was illiterate, but he was determined to fight against the injustice of the British landlords. And he was the first one who approached Mahatma Gandhi ji to seek his help to resolve the problem of the sharecroppers of the Champaran village. Next important character is here Charles Freer Andrews, who was the English pacifist and devotee of Mahatma Gandhi ji. When he came to bid farewell from Gandhi ji before going to join his duty in the Fiji Islands, then Gandhi ji's friends insisted to take help and support from this man for their fight against the British landlords. Gandhi ji opposed strongly by saying they could not rely on an Englishman for their own fight against the Britishers. Needless to mention, the most important character sketch here is of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, that is known as Mahatma Gandhiji. He was highly intelligent and perceptive man. His fundamental principles were non-violence and self-reliance, that means self-dependence. His entire political campaign for the development of the country was only based on these two mentioned. The chapter Indigo, written by Louis Fisher, narrates Mahatma Gandhiji's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran, Bihar. The peasants were sharecroppers with the British planters. According to an old agreement, the peasants of Champaran had to produce indigo on 15% of their land and give the whole crop as a rent to the British landlords. It was around 1917 that Germany country had developed synthetic indigo, which affected the sale of the natural indigo grown by the peasants of Champaran. The fact of this, there was the tremendous downfall of the sale of the natural indigo plant. The British planters also observed this, so they no longer desired for this crop from the Champaran peasants. Decided to take advantage and force the peasants to pay them compensation amount for getting release from this 15% arrangement of growing the indigo plant. Not only tackling the political and economic issues of this remote area, Gandhiji also worked on the social level. He made arrangement there for the education, health and hygiene of the families of the poor peasants and thus taught them the lesson of the self-reliance. Children, just I've told you, the chapter Indigo is based on the interview. See the chapter Indigo, first paragraph. When I first visited Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, he said, I will tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1917. Urge, that means to press or force earnestly to someone. Here in this first paragraph, the author is explaining about his first interaction with Mahatma Gandhiji. He said when he first met Gandhiji in the year 1942 in his ashram, which was in Sevagram. Children, Sevagram is the ashram established by Mahatma Gandhiji and it is located in the central India. On this first meeting, Gandhiji started narrating the incident which made him decide to spur the exit of British from a country. It was the incident that occurred in the year 1917 which forced Gandhiji to start his first struggle against the British. He had gone to the December 1916 annual convention of the Indian National Congress Party in Lucknow. There were 2,301 delegates and many visitors. Convention, that means meeting. Delegates, that means representatives. Here, Gandhiji narrated that when in the month of December in the year 1916, he went to attend the annual meeting of the Indian National Congress at Lucknow. There were about 2,301 representatives and visitors who attended this meeting. Gandhi recounted, a peasant came up to me looking like any other peasant in India, poor and emaciated, and said, I am Rajkumar Shukla. I'm from Champaran and I want you to come to my district. Recounted, that means recall some memory or experience. Emaciated, that means lean. Peasant, that means farmer. Proceedings means series of action. Recounted, that means to recall some past memory or experience. Emaciated, that means thin or lean. Here Gandhiji recalled that during the proceeding of this meeting, there came a small farmer named Rajkumar Shukla to meet him. He was looking quite thin and poor. He approached Gandhiji and requested him to visit Champaran, his district. Gandhiji had never heard of the place. It was in the foothills of the towering Himalayas. Towering means very high. But Gandhiji was completely ignorant about this place. Champaran, it is a district in Bihar and this place in the foothills of the Himalayan mountain range near the kingdom of Nepal. Under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. He was illiterate but resolute. Sharecroppers means farmers who gave part of their crop as a rent to the owner of the land. Illiterate means unlettered or uneducated. Resolute, that means determined. It is this time that the Champaran farmers had turned to be the sharecroppers due to some ancient arrangement. Sharecropper, I've just told you the meaning, is a kind of the farmer who gives a part of the crop as a rent to the owner of that piece of land where he does the cultivation. So it is told that due to some old agreement, many of the peasants in Champaran had turned to be the sharecropper. Rajkumar Shukla was also one among them. Though he was the uneducated farmer, but he was really determined man. He had come to the Congress session to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar, and somebody had probably said, speak to Gandhi. He had specially come to meet Gandhiji. Shukla had got the information that Gandhiji was the only prominent leader in the country who could help to sort out the problems of the indigo sharecroppers. That's why he had come to the Congress session there to complain about the injustice of the landlord system of Bihar. Gandhi told Shukla he had an appointment in Kanpur and was also committed to go to other parts of India. Shukla accompanied him everywhere. Committed, that means dedicated. Accompanied, that means to follow. Gandhi told Shukla he had an appointment in Kanpur and was also committed to go to other parts of India. Shukla accompanied him everywhere. Appointment, that is a formal arrangements to meet or to pay visit somewhere. Committed, that means dedicated. Accompanied, that means to follow or to go with someone as a companion. Hence, after hearing the problem of Rajkumar Shukla, Gandhiji told him that he had to visit Kanpur and some other parts of India due to his prior appointments. But Shukla accompanied Gandhiji everywhere. That means he followed everywhere where Gandhiji went. Then Gandhi returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Shukla followed him to the ashram. For weeks, he never left Gandhi's side. After paying visits to all these places, Gandhiji returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Shukla also reached there with him for then again he chased Gandhiji and stayed with Gandhiji for many weeks there in the ashram. Fix a date, he begged, and ultimately he again begged before Gandhiji to fix the date to pay visit to his district, Champaran in Bihar. Impressed by the sharecroppers' tenacity and story, Gandhi said, I have to be in Calcutta on such and such a date. Come and meet me and take me from there. Tenacity, that means determination. However, Gandhiji was quite impressed with the determination of this poor peasant and also to know the miseries of the sharecroppers of Champaran, Bihar. He finally agreed and said that he would be visiting Calcutta after few months and he said Shukla should meet him there. Thus, ultimately, Shukla got the appointment by Gandhiji to visit his place. Months passed, Shukla was sitting on his haunches at the appointment spot in Calcutta when Gandhi arrived. He waited till Gandhi was free. Haunches is actually the fleshy part of the thighs, but here it is used as an idiomatic phrase that means with excitement. So, this way, many months passed and the date of the appointment came. Shukla reached Calcutta. He started waiting eagerly for the arrival of Gandhiji. Thus, Gandhiji visited the place and when he got free, both of them, they took the train. This way, many months had passed and finally the date of appointment came. Shukla started waiting eagerly first for the arrival of Gandhiji. When Gandhiji reached there, he still waited till Gandhiji got free from all his meetings over there. Then the two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. Boarded means get on. So both of them they took a train to Patna, that is the capital of Bihar. There Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who later became president of the Congress Party and of India. On reaching Patna, Shukla took Gandhiji to the house of a lawyer called Rajendra Prasad, who was the president of the Congress Party during those years. And later on, children, you are well aware, this famous personality had become the first president of a nation. Rajendra Prasad was out of town, but the servants knew Shukla as a poor yeoman who pestered their master to help the indigo sharecroppers. Yeoman is a farmer who cultivates the small piece of land. Pestered, that means to trouble or harass someone. Thus, when Gandhiji and Shukla reached the house, the servants of the house were ignorant about the popularity of Gandhiji. They only knew Rajkumar Shukla, who was a poor farmer and who used to visit their master to trouble him to help and support the indigo sharecroppers. So they let him stay on the grounds with his companion Gandhi, whom they took to be another peasant. So they thought Gandhiji to be some untouchable person. That's why they even did not give the good hospitality to Gandhiji. On reaching Patna, Shukla took Gandhiji to the house of a lawyer called Rajendra Prasad, who was the president of the Congress party during those years. And later on, children, you are well aware, this famous personality had become the first president of a nation. Rajendra Prasad was out of town, but the servants knew Shukla as a poor yeoman who pestered their master to help the indigo sharecroppers. Yeoman is a farmer who cultivates the small piece of land. Pestered, that means to trouble or harass someone. Thus, when Gandhiji and Shukla reached the house of Rajendra Prasad, he was not at home. Mentioned due to the same reason, Gandhiji was not given permission to use and take water from the home well, thinking him to be also untouchable man like Rajkumar Shukla. So the servants thought with the touch of Gandhiji, the whole water source, that means the water of the well, would get polluted. Children, before independence, there was prevalent social evil of untouchability in a country. So, the lower caste people were forbidden to use the things of the upper caste people. That's why the servants thought Gandhiji to be some untouchable man. That's why he was forbidden to use the things. How did they know that he was not an untouchable? Servants were unaware about the reputation of Gandhiji. That's why they did such a big mistake about Gandhiji. Gandhi decided to go first to Muzaffarpur, which was en route to Champaran, to obtain more complete information about conditions than Shukla was capable of imparting. En route, that means on the way. Imparting, that means giving or providing. So here it is described as Shukla was not able to provide the complete or adequate information about the conditions of the sharecroppers. So Gandhiji decided that he would visit Muzaffarpur, which was on the way to Champaran, so that he should himself collect the complete information about their problem. He accordingly sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kriplani of Arts College in Muzaffarpur, whom he had seen at Tagore's Shantiniketan school. So, for this, he sent the telegram to Professor J.B. Kriplani, who was a teacher at Arts College in Muzaffarpur. He was Gandhiji's friend, and Gandhiji had met him at Tagore's Shantiniketan school. The train arrived at midnight, 15 April 1917. Kriplani was waiting at the station with a large body of students. Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days in the home of Professor Malkani, a teacher in a government school. Hence, when Gandhiji's train reached Muzaffarpur at midnight of 15th April 1917, in response to his telegram, Kriplani, his friend, was waiting for him at the station with a good number of the students. Gandhi stayed there for 2 days in the home of Professor Malkani, a teacher in a government school. There in Muzaffarpur, Gandhiji stayed for 2 days at Professor Malkani's home, who was a teacher in some government school. It was an extraordinary thing. In those days, Gandhi commented, for a government professor to harbor a man like me. Harbor means entertains or to provide shelter. So here Gandhiji mentioned it was really remarkable thing in those days that some government professor was going to provide shelter to a man like him who was going to fight against the British rule. In smaller localities, the Indians were afraid to show sympathy for advocates of home rule. In fact, the people belonging to the smaller districts and the towns of the slave country were afraid to help and support those people who had been the part of the home rule movement. So, this movement had run between the years of 1916 to 1918. So, Gandhiji said it was a challenging task of the government professor to harbor Gandhiji that moment. The news of Gandhi's advent and of the nature of his mission spread quickly through Muzaffarpur and to Champaran. Advent means arrival. Hence, the news of Gandhiji's arrival at Muzaffarpur and the purpose of his mission. That means the reason of his visit. So, this news now spread very fast from Muzaffarpur to Champaran. Sharecroppers from Champaran began arriving on foot and by conveyance to see their champion. Conveyance means transportation, champion that means hero. Thus, the sharecroppers, that means the farmers of the Champaran, they started visiting Muzaffarpur to have the glimpse, that means the look of their hero. Thus, with the effect of this information, the sharecroppers from Champaran started moving either on foot or by any transport, whatever they got, to meet this great leader or the champion who was going to fight for their rights. Muzaffarpur lawyers called on Gandhi to brief him. They frequently represented peasant groups in court. There Gandhiji called the Muzaffarpur lawyers to get information about the case. In fact, they were representing the peasant groups in the Muzaffarpur court. They told him about the cases and reported the size of their fee. Therefore, the lawyers explained to Gandhiji about the detail of their cases. Along with, they also informed Gandhiji about the amount and the fee charge which they were taking from the peasants group. Gandhi chided the lawyers for collecting big fee from the sharecropper. Chided means scold or criticize. Hence, on knowing the fee or the charge taken from the sharecroppers, Gandhiji scolded the lawyers for charging such high fee from the poor farmers. He said, I have come to the conclusion that we should stop going to law courts. Taking such cases to the courts does little good. Conclusion, that means result or end of something. Little good, that means doing nothing. Gandhiji concluded that it was useless to go to the courts if the judiciary itself was doing like nothing for the welfare of the poor farmers. Where the peasants are so crushed and fear stricken, law courts are useless. The real relief for them is to be free from fear. Crushed, that means suppressed. Fear stricken means afraid. Hence, Gandhiji further added that as long as the peasants were suppressed and full of fear, then it was useless to visit the courts. He said that they could provide the real relief and the help to the poor sharecroppers if they would set them free from the fear from their minds. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have well understood the explanation. For all your doubts and queries, you can make call or text me.